AZ fam, you might remember a wee while ago I did this nutty little video about the idea of putting Begbie from Trainspotting into Mortal Kombat. Well, about a few days after I made that video, I got to thinking, why not, instead of putting Begbie into Mortal Kombat, how about we get a video game of a bunch of hard nuts, you know, sort of movie guy or movie girl, even women, well, movie character, nut jobs, head cases, hard men, indestructibles, unstoppables, you know. Think of it kind of like the Expendables of a video game, but a fighting game, you know. Now, admittedly, I'm going to cross quite a few barriers with trademarks and trade names and lore types and properties. I mean, I'm getting into kind of like Ready Player One territory here. I mean, I'm practically looking at the game on the Oasis for the way this concept is going, but I think it's a fun concept, so I hope you'll follow me on the journey. So I've made some notes on my phone. He's actually made notes. Bloke never makes notes. He usually talks off the top of his head, but that's because he knows what he's talking about. This is big. Internal dialogue. Right, so this is the idea I've had thus far for the roster. If you indeed yourself have ideas for the roster for this game, right, where it's grounded down and dirty, no special powers, just skills, strength, and will of determination. And like if a character gets a broken arm in the fight, you have to do the rest of the fight with the broken arm. If they're bleeding all the time through the fight. You know, doesn't stop them, but it does hinder them. So you're looking to hinder your opponent to such a point where they can't fight anymore. So we're not doing death, we're just doing, as we say here in Scotland, extreme malky. Alright, they're getting properly done in, but nobody's dying, right? But they won't get, you know, messed up. So here's what I'm thinking. First of all, the genesis of the idea, Begbie from Trainspotting. Okay. Then Alex from Clockwork Orange. You see where I'm going with this? Unstoppables, sociopaths, you know, nut jobs, guys that have fighting skill but don't have like mad powers. Then Bulletproof Tony from Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Because I gotta do something with Vinnie Jones. I mean, come on! And there's something fun about Bulletproof Tony, isn't there? You know? And you can imagine with the characters I'm getting this far, you know, the dialogue choices before, during and after the fight. Oh yes! There's Mad Max. Now I don't know what version of Mad Max you want to do. Do you want to take old, medium, or really young Mel Gibson version? Do you want to do the one from a couple of years ago, the Fury Road version? Do you want to take the one from Avalanche Games? Who's to say? But nonetheless, Mad Max, yeah. I personally think Thunderdome Mad Max, you know, or at least one that looks like Thunderdome Mad Max, but maybe not Mel Gibson, because let's face it, Mel Gibson's a wee bit problematic. Paul Kersey, Death Wish, and I think the Death Wish 3 version, because let's face it, of the Death Wish movies, that's the best yet. And really, you just love the way he just does not stop. He doesn't get, he'll only be put down, and he just like, you know, finish the move, bring out the Big Mac, or bring him out the rocket launcher or whatever. Could be a laugh. The next fighter into the arena, Shaft. Oh yeah, John Shaft. Shaft. So put Shaft in the game, yeah. Because let's face it, now the question is, do you have Richard Roundtree Shaft, or do you have Samuel L. Jackson Shaft? Let the comment section decide. Then we have John McClane from Die Hard. Now, to my money, you're going to go with the original Die Hard. Nakatomi Tower, no shoes on, bleeding feet John McClane. But you can have any one of the John McClanes, really. I mean, you could make that separate costumes for any of these characters. You know, especially like I said in the Begbie video. You know, you could have all the costumes that Begbie wears in the Trainspotting movie, and even have one costume, which is the old Begbie from Trainspotting 2. So you could do the same here with John McClane. You could do the same here with Mad Max. You could have the Free Ages, or the Fury Road version, or whatever. Then we get, and this is where I think we get kind of fun, Tyler Durden from Fight Club. Now, okay, Tyler Durden, spoilers if you've not seen Fight Club. If you're not seen Fight Club, I'll put my hand up while I'm talking about Fight Club, so then once the hand goes down, then you can stop skipping ahead by 10 seconds and hitting the right hand side of your screen with that double tap. Okay, so here we go. Tyler Durden, as we all know, is the imaginings of Ed Norton's character. So could you have an alternate costume that is Ed Norton's character being the Fight Club guy? Or are you just going to stick with Tyler Durden? But I think Tyler Durden, yeah, interesting choice. So there we are, the hand is down. Tyler Durden option discussed. I still think it would be fun. Yeah, so Tyler Durden, Fight Club, that's one of the options. Another option would be Harry Callahan from Dirty Harry. Now you could have any of the Dirty Harry movies you want. I mean, you could even go for the Harry Callahan from the Deadpool, if you so wish. But I think you're going to go for the original Harry Callahan, from those movies, the one where he fights against Andrew Robson, the proper 1960s with the whole, this is the 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in all the world, to tell you the truth, I had the excitement, I lost count kind of guy. Yeah, that young swagger Callahan, that could be fun. I think that'd be actually quite good. And all these guys have not got they're not like immortal, they're not like crazy strong, but they just will not be put down. They've got guts, determination, and they just have this iron will to no give in. And that's where I think it gets interesting. Like a bit of blood from the mouth, a bit of blood on the nose, just like the knuckles get all scraped up while they're fighting. The clothes get a bit muddy or whatever. You can see wear and tear from the fight. And then, after you've done Harry Callahan, you go Snake Plissken. Yeah, man, Snake Plissken, Escape from New York, or Escape from LA, if you like. I mean, let's face it, it's almost exactly the same costume, same character, to the point that when he walked out in the Snake Plissken outfit for the second movie, it's like this. They thought it was just the same movie again because he looked exactly the same. It's just mental. So either Snake Plissken, it doesn't matter. It's still Snake Plissken. And then, as possibly the boss character, and then obviously playable after that, and then maybe there's more characters added down the road from your suggestions in the comment section, if the game ever was to be made. The boss character to fight at the end, Colonel John Matrix from Commando. Oh, Commando! Oh, I love that movie. I mean, say so. It's the Arnie movie with all the best one-liners, man. It's like, it's like, Demetrius, you remember you said to kill me last? I lied. Ah! It's like, hey, where's Sully? I let him go. It's like, it's such a brilliant movie, and it's full of such great Arnieisms. You know, I mean, you could have him be like the, Dutch from like Predator if you wanted it. You know, you maybe have that, stick around. But you've got to have at least one Arnie character, and I reckon you're going to have an Arnie character in a game like this. It's going to be John Matrix. It's like, let off some steam, Bennett. So yeah, it's like a game of a bunch of real hard people that just will not give in. I mean, come to think of it, you could put in the game, because you've got to have a little bit of representation in there, right? I think it could be kind of fun if you put in Sarah Connor, and I mean Terminator 2 Sarah Connor, not Terminator, and certainly not Terminator of any of the others that came after. T2 Sarah Connor, because, whoa, actually we're talking representation, we're talking Sarah Connor. You know who else you put in? It's like from either the first, not the first, but definitely the second and the third movies. Ellen Ripley. Oh, Ellen Ripley, man, yeah. It's like, you could maybe have an argument from The Bride, from Kill Bill, but maybe she's too skilled. You know what somebody has got because her martial arts level is almost, she's got like that sort of legendary mad kung fu style. So I don't know if you could use The Bride. You see, now my mind's just going of who can I put in the game, or who could you put in the game. But that's where you guys come in. Get typey down below. Give me your ideas. Who would you put in the game? Or have I come up with a perfect list? Or do you think that someone from the list that I've described is flawed and should not be there? I don't know. But this is just a little fun piece, just to get the old grey matter turning, and just for laughs as well. So, I hope you enjoy this little concept. And, I shall see you again, hopefully in the very near future. You know the drill. Hashtag support Scottish YouTubers. And of course, as always, aye, nae bother.